Hello and welcome to another gameplay review on the Virkayu gameplay channel. And in this one we have Camille JUNGLE because she's back. She is not going to be the level 2 only, spam ganker that she was, although you still could in theory do that. But the new jungle is allowing her to once more be present because instead of only doing one camp and crying, we can do more than one camp. However, level 1s, cheeses, these things still work very well. And we're seeing a lot of this. And we usually see a lot of this preseason, beginning of season, when people are playing a bit more risky and, looking to make plays in snowball games. But we have a nice balanced game for you. 25 minutes, good old-fashioned League of Legends, no 18-minute opens. There was a game with the Camille getting 22 kills, 0 assists, and a pentakill. But it was too one-sided, so I decided, hey, let's go with this. E-start, obviously, because we can level 2 cheats from that. And the biggest thing that nerfed the Camille from the jungle originally, as most of you will remember from Season 8, that was the stun working on jungle monsters and scuttle crabs and such things, and obviously they removed that and couldn't do anything. Now obviously we don't have that, and our clears were destroyed. But with the pets coming around, and now we're going with a Scorch Claw here for Giga Damage, she's definitely back in the game. However, I will say this. You're not going to 5 camp, you're not going to 6 camp, you're looking to 3 camp action. You could look to level 2 cheese, and I think that's a great idea, or you could 4 camp. And just to interrupt, don't forget I did my Gosu Academy talk on Friday. Huge lecture, about 2.5 hours I had with the community talking about Season 13, optimizations, pros and cons of the jungle changes, what might be happening itemization-wise, which champions are doing what, strategic pathing optimizations. I will be making a VOD of that. It's not quite up yet, but I will be making one. So if you want to join and get a month free in Gosu Academy, plus access to that and just hang out with other people learning the jungle in the best way, click the link in the description below, use code Virkayu for free. Alright, and if you watch the Jungle Roots video on the main channel, you have noticed that Camille tried to go red, Krugs, Raptors. It worked out, but once you get into this zone here, it didn't work out as well, and a full clearing jungler, Chupster, killed her in her own jungle, and now the Camille here, level 2 gang, going the long way around onto the Aphelios, does the E-stun flash, which I don't really think we needed to do at that stage, trying to anticipate the Aphelios flashing, but hey, we'll take it. The Kha'Zix in the meantime does show very briefly, alright? Level 8. 8 CS, 2 cams, level 2, and now we're going on an aggressive invade. This is how we would have to play it before. We're going to E over the wall and hit the Lux, who has a see, I haven't seen this. I just looked a little bit at the data, and now we're going fist-to-fisty with the Kha'Zix. Look at this. Okay, our Phyllis now flashes off the wall. Now we're biting off more than we can chew, and I think we might die. So this is not... Well, it's a nice fiesta. I'm having fun. So basically, let's recap this nonsense at the beginning here. The Kha'Zix starts down here after dying first blood. Not going to change the nature of the game. The Camille decides to do this, go around, gank the bottom lane. Uses this pressure, seeing the Kha'Zix, to invade and continue said pressure. The Lux tries to defend and gets killed and isn't able to do anything. And then the Camille overstays, but she's able to fight the Kha'Zix 1v1. How many junglers can do that? How many junglers can say that? Not many. So we're not seeing a huge... advantage in the clearing department here, but at least now you can still see that that level 2 cheese, that invade power, that Camille strength still exists. Now again, if you're looking for the full clear breakdown, my Jungle Roots video will show you that from Camille's perspective, and you know what? Maybe I'll just edit in something extra for you and show you right now. Now, we're gonna go back here to the blue side, into the Scuttle Crab. Do we want to focus intensely on the Scuttle Crab? Yes, in this case, because it gives us 3, so we can smite it and snack it. Shield is not an issue. Treats are at 37. Yasubi is pushing down the Elbrand Fire, Mordor Gamer, and this takes away a little bit from the Kha'Zix's control, just because mid had Prio, and then we can fall back to the Gromp and to the Wolves for good sequencing. With the pickaxe, obviously it's easier, but the speed is there. If you need to do red Krugs Raptors gank, you can do that. Alright, if you need to do red Krugs into the blue side, you can do that. If you want to do just red into the blue side, you can do that as well. So there's double smite, the pet. Yes, she's not going to be prototypically fast, but it's definitely more viable should you not be able to get the cheese going. The point is, we're seeing a lot of Camille jungle, even Zib was playing it, and it looked kind of good. Now, the brand dies to the Yasuo, as we expect. The Camille shows to the top lane here and says, you know what? Yeah, let me hit this wave, even though our top laner has TP. So this is what we would call... not always what you want to do for the mentality of your bottom lane, but we can shove this in a crash a little bit. Why not, at this point? I don't think the Udio necessarily always appreciates that, but if you can get into the lane, snack some experience, hold a wave, push a wave, do so, but obviously don't screw your lanes over and then get confused why they int. So not the most ethical start, but definitely aggressive, definitely looking solid. Now the Kha'Zix in the meantime has Gust Stalker. Gus Walker, there we go. That's good for him. That's good for his champion. That's exactly what he wants to use. Our bot lane's now resetting. We're 112, 23 CES, 34 treats to 31. That's the thing you want to track, all right? Oh, look, he's counter jungling me. Here we go. We're going to go in and get that stun, snack that cam. And now Kha'Zix really can do nothing else. I mean, the damage here with the Sheen Tiamat, again, the Sheen is a PvP item. Really, really strong PvP item for any single champion that can activate that on hit. Volibear is one of the best examples of that using that W. Now, the Camille, like Volibear, like Warwick, loves to use Sheen Tiamat. Oh, there it is. Rewatch that. There it is. The E hookshot trapping vision circumvention technique has returned. That's exactly what you want to look for. It's exactly what you want to look for. Now, our mid laner has died, and he's perma-inting, so hold the wave. The downside of holding the wave here is we don't get to smite the cannon and then get a free upgrade on our smite item like we did in Season 12 and 11. We don't get treats for this, right? The treats are specifically for killing large and epic monsters, which means that when you lose farming time, you lose the treats. Now, we have stacked up ourselves here a bonus treat, so once we do Grump, we'll get 1 treat plus the bonus. And most importantly, right, when you're going for those dragon fights at around 20 treats, make sure that you have 20 treats left and they have 20 treats left or 22 treats left. Because if you go for the dragon and you have 900 damage and they have 600, free. If you only have 600 and they have 900, not so free, right? So you need to consider that in terms of your perma-fistings. In the meantime, our bottom lane is getting fed. And again, bottom lane is a bit of a coin flip, but their mid lane is getting fed. The difference here is that the early invade really, it costs enemy junglers who have to rotate. Like the Kha'Zix rotated bot lane. What he should have done is just say, well, my bot died to level 2 gank. That sucks. Let me just keep sequencing. That's my advantage. If I rotate, nothing's going to happen. And by showing, he compromised himself quite severely. And yes, the Camille died, but it didn't really give him any advantage, right? So, in terms of the Kha'Zix, now he is here stealing camps. And again, counter jungling has gone off the charts. Level 7 to level 5, a lot of experience in the mid lane. Lux roams as well. Camille's showing up also. This is a dead brand. The Kha'Zix shows over the wall, gets exhausted. Camille says, what can I do about this? She says, I can hold the tower here, so I'm going to stun you underneath, get that auto attack reset. I can ult you there. She does miss the W, unfortunately, but we will have our Q up soon. We can flash auto, we'll get the Q, and then we can, of course, recast that. And the recast is quite potent. We do have our E-hook shut up again. We're going to try and stun the Lux. We hold the release so we can see where she's moving, and then we get the W, and she dies. So you're looking at a Tiamat Sheen double longsword proc. Did you see the damage? The PvP component here is so damn strong. Any laner weaknesses in the top lane, they don't exist in the jungle. And now because we can farm quite well, and the Tiamat allows us to farm quite well, and obviously we should have seen that the Kha'Zix stole our red, but hey, no forgiveness from the Kha'Zix. You're ganking my lanes, you're cheesing me, I'm gonna take your cams. Anyway, counter jungling. Oof, counter jungling. That is, it's almost like it wasn't happening as much as it could. I coached so many people where it's like, hey, you missed this counter jungling moment, you didn't time the camps appropriately, and you're just giving the enemy jungler free passes for their ganks, and you're not really destroying them. And then Riot said, we are giving you 20% bonus damage to your monsters, i.e. 20% less damage to the enemy jungle monsters, and everyone's like, counter jungling's going away. It's like you didn't even counter jungle in the first place. But because Riot mentioned counter jungling, everyone's now thinking about counter jungling. And so I have not seen as much early season just running in and timing of stealing camps than ever before. It's really like some obsessive thing. Someone mentioned that it's going away, so everyone's trying it, everyone's doing it, and realizing, hey, yes, it's slower, but look, he did the red, he did the Krugs. No concerns, right? He did the red, he did the Krugs. I'm seeing Cheese, level 1s, Canes, Belveths. Yes, they're slower, but they're still doing it, And if you look at the Evelyn versus Wukong video, the first one I did, the Evelyn was slower on her red side clear, right? And because of that, the Wukong crossed over and only saw her too late for him to vertical. So that actually benefited the Evelyn quite greatly. So it's not some kind of black and white, hey, counter jungling's bad. It's still good. It's still good if you do it at the right moments. Now, instead of worrying too much about that, just do it when it's theoretically sound. And of course, the Kha'Zix was doing it, unfortunately overcommitted, and Camille showed him the PvP nature of existence. We've rushed Juicy Ravenous Hydra. This is the nerfed version, which is still potent and strong and being rushed by basically everyone. And I feel so bad for the Kha'Zix, man. Like, he tried his best to shadow this, to bait it, and then Ash is like, I see you, Jake Sully. And is anyone actually going to go see that second movie? I don't know, it's been so damn long. I'll watch the first one and be like, well, that's an experience. And then Maybe I'll have to see the second one just for completion's sake, you know, if the wife wants to see it and things like that. But I mean, it's been so long. I don't know of anyone who was hyped about that. I mean, I was 21, but like people were younger. People were kids watching Avatar and loved it. Thought, hey, where's the second one? And now they're 30 or something like this, and 25 and so on. Anyway, so again, our bottom, look, this guy's trolling. He's level 6 to level 9. So if you're worried about, can I 1v9 when my mid lane is level 6 and the enemy mid is level 9, and this will happen. Mid top lane, you're gonna have a big issue. We just crossed 20 stacks there. You're gonna just have to fill the gap there. We're only up 9 CS, and a lot of the CS, yes, is being gained through lanes. But that hasn't changed. That nature of the game hasn't changed. Yes, we're only getting 75% experience on that lane minion before 15 minutes, but that's a carryover from the old days, and it's not as punishing actually. So yeah, I expect most junglers to sequence fully and to still hold waves. And the brand's just actually trolling at this point. And when he is trolling, don't rage, don't compromise yourself, just become a funneler of yourself. Funnel yourself. You know what I mean. It's November. Now, if he shows that he's level 6 and he's level 25, I mean, you can't make this up. Like, this guy won't get banned, but if you say something in chat like, hey, you know, you should bake my noodle, then you're just going to get randomly chat restricted or muted. It's really funny. So, the overall Camille clearing path, obviously that's not being really shown in this game. It's really showing you that, hey, look, she can still clear the jungle sufficiently well to execute a more aggressive, cheesy, invadey, ganky, and wave-holdy game plan, which is great. But that's why her win rate isn't as potent as her power spike actually is, because we just don't have that same farming tempo as typical meta junglers. Now, at the same time, we're 5-1-2. The enemy mid lane is level 10, our brand. Did he hit level 7 first? We see everyone here busting down the mid lane, 3 people. Ash, if you're a support, please leave. You don't need to be bot lane at this stage. There you go. Ultim? I was going to say ultimatum. And then ultimate, and it came out as ultim. So we fall back to our red. Just protect your own jungle camps as best you can. Udyr is existing on the top side, 0-2-0, also losing 2 losing lanes here. And that's never an issue for Camille. She is a 1v9 jungler. Hey guy, how you doing? Can I show you some original 200 years? Yes, we can do that. We do have flash as well. He has all summons, there we go. We're just gonna get that stun into the W. Or W, I mean... So just like hit your hook shot and then face smash the keyboard and he dies. If you need to use ult, use ult. If you need to use flash, hook shot, do it. There's a whole bunch of stuff you can do, but you don't need it. Now, into his jungle, we're going to take this Grump. Oh no, 20% less damage. Oh no, how could I take this? It took so long. Oh man. See how stupid that sounds? It sounds stupid, doesn't it? Look at us. We have Ravenous Hydra plus Sheen. Oh no. Just take the Grump. Now we're going to hold this bottom wave here. This guy's basically a season 2 jungler. Season 2 jungle brand. No experience, no gold, level 6 to level 11. He's got a 5 level deficit. And we did secure that first dragon, which obviously is good, but the second one's coming up. If you don't secure the first one, try and get it. We obviously didn't get the Herald. And we have 10 treats on the Kha'Zix to 14 treats on the Camille Scissor Lady Gamer. Now, Phileos has decided that once more, as ADCs will do, smite that away, don't give it away. But again, this is selfish jungling. Let's not... Yeah. Right? Like, you're taking all resources yourself, you're pushing and holding waves even if you probably shouldn't, and you're smiting things just so no one can get it, which of course I would do as well. You're trying to take my buffs, I'm gonna smite it and take it, but do be aware that you need the smite for the dragon, so you don't want to lose a Hextech dragon. That Ashe ult misses, excuse me, the tornado misses. Udyr goes into boar stance, and now everyone's grouping on the mid lane here. 12-9. We're up 1k because bot lane's ahead, and we're ahead, but their mid lane is ahead, and their top lane is ahead, and their jungle isn't too far. He's 2,000. Never mind, he's off. He's way off. I thought maybe there was some redeeming quality here, but there isn't. Again, Ravenous Rush, though. 3 stacks to 40. 3 stacks to 40. Jax with the Bork Rush against the... Look at this, though. Did you see from whence she came? On the dawn on the 3rd day, there's Camille just over the mountain, and instead of Gandalf and all the horses in the world, it's just Camille and just giant scissor legs slice you and kill you, because that's her rotational power. It doesn't come in the form of, don't be toxic, it doesn't come in the form of running at people, but it comes in the form of, hey, I'm here, now you're dead. Hey, I'm here, now you're dead. hey, I'm here, now you're dead, right? So you've got that range component, which is why Viego's like playing against Camille Jungles, as I said a few months ago. You've got your R, you've got your E, you've got your W, and then you become Camille, and then you've got another plus your R, right? So the range from Viego becoming a Camille with a hook shot plus his ultimate is gigantic. So the chain events, quite fun. That's all I'm pointing out. Now, obviously, everyone dies, and we have a Chem Soul map, which is, again, great. Kha'Zix is pulling out the counter jungling. The Lux shows up. We smite it. We dodge it. She zones out. That's great. Try and just protect your camps as best you can. There's not much you can do here, so remember, with the Chem Tech Soul map, look at this. When you have a losing game state, losing mid and top specifically, or losing mid and bot, doesn't really matter. Typically, you lose a whole quadrant. So use this Scry's Bloom right here and here to scout your jungle. If you're losing, which is quite interesting, right? The original Chemtech Soul map, when you were losing, sucked because you could never go into your jungle, right? There was this camera zone, and if you walked into it, they're just trapping you and you die. Now they've gone the complete opposite. Instead of the enemy team being camouflaged and protected, they can be completely exposed. So they get the benefit of the plants as well, but it also helps you. So it's a really interesting complete switch in terms of how it works. And the Blasting Cone makes you go yeeting to Australia or Narnia, whichever one is closer to you. Probably Narnia. Now we're going to E-hook shot and snack that blue. We see the Jax moving up here, so warning pings are used. He's going to Blasting Cone. Blasting Cone. That's unfortunate. You know, he almost went too far. We do have the Ash and the Brand here. Can we hit the arrow? No, we cannot. Can we hit the Caitlyn knot? Yes, we can. With Camille, we're super strong. Oh my goodness gracious. You know, like, it's bad enough that Q2 is absolutely insane anyway on the recast, but the W is quite a lot. 157, 99 second one, 197. This one's 300 on the recast, and obviously ultimate gives you that max HP damage plus, what is it? X-Tech Ultimatum? No, it doesn't say. Is it a hexagon? It's a hexagon, right? It's a hexagon. I was looking for the shape. Excuse me. There's a Kha'Zix here, 15 stacks, excuse me. Still 2 left in this, still 5 left in this. So this is about the time that you will start to see this finishing upgrade of the pet, okay? This is what you want to keep in mind. Now, farming jungles will be done already. Karthus, he's finished. Hecarim, he's done. Anything like that, finito. More ganking, skirmishing junglers, you're gonna fall behind a little bit, and that's worth noting when you get into the mid-game for second heralds. Crucial dragons in this moment, plus barons at 20. Barons at 20, everyone should be done unless you're Giga losing. So we get shutdowns on the Hazaki guy, which is nice, and the brand is now level 7. How much gold does he have? 3,600. He has 3,600. I almost went into Jerry Seinfeld's super high-pitched voice there. Well, I did actually, but just 3,600 gold. Oh my goodness gracious. Ward pings as well as you're seeing. Where are we at now? Divine Sundra, Ravenous. This is where things get interesting. You can go Trinity, but Divine Sundra is the absolute basic, obviously, because the penetration plus the damages plus the healing is always super, super good. We use and trap within the Hexagon of Doom. And the Trinity's better versus your squishies with less CC. In this particular case, it's great versus Jaxes, it's great versus Yasuo's. Anything with a longer duration fight with CC, like a Lux might have, for example. And it's just basically de facto always good. Now, Ravenous first is the idea behind most of these junglers. Camille, Rengar, Kha'Zix. I won't say Graves because it's fun, but it's not objectively as good. But typically you'll know if your champion can use it. Nocturne, you can buy it definitely, but you're not necessarily rushing it, but you could. It's just about the item spike and the fusion of that scaling AD. Remember, they nerfed the stacks now, but you're still getting 80 plus AD, whereas the Infinity Edge has 70 AD. And they upped the cost of the Ravenous Hydra from 3,200 to 3,400, but who cares? It's so damn good, and it's so easy to stack even when you die. The ultimate hits. We're going to E-hook shot over the wall. We hit the Lux. How generous. We're just going to turn in the Phyllis to make sure he dies. He Gale Forces away. We do get the W slow, which is great. The Caitlyn finishes it off, and the Gust Walker Kha'Zix says good night, because he does have that now. So you're seeing the good use of the Gust Walker here from Kha'Zix repositioning. You see how far he got? It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Yasuo's like, I thought I could win this game. But if there's a jungler on the enemy team when you're this kind of mid laner who holds the waves, pushes the waves, and deals with it, really, you can stop a really fed mid lane. Now, granted, no one's playing particularly well, but the Camille is playing selfish, but she's... You know, when you talk about 200 years Remember, Thresh is support and Yasuo. These are the original, absolutely overloaded. You could argue Lee Sin, but I still think it's not so much because we had Elise, we have Jace. You know, having 6 abilities, 5 abilities is quite normal. But in terms of like overloaded kits that are just irritating, Thresh is the original, but obviously now it's just like peak skill gap support, obviously, but it's still a loaded kit, right? And like no one thinks Thresh is lacking abilities. And then Yasuo's mobility, the originals. Now, as we said, this is not necessarily the perfect game for showing you farming tempo, but you can see that when you have to fall back to farm, has there been any issue taking a wolf camp, taking a grom camp? No, which means, yes, your playstyle isn't going to be full sequencing, but quadrant clearing, rotating, and then going back to waves is going to be great. We go over the wall, we get the slow into the Ashe ult, into the Hextech ultimatum. She will die from that. We generously give a kill away to the Caitlyn. We go onto the Aphelios who flashes, then we flash afterwards, must be NA ping gap, which it shouldn't be, but it is. Jax is splitting on the bot lane against the Yaks. Red buff is up. We have a red buff though. Hit the point, look at this. Look at that vision, and it sparkles with fireflies. It's beautiful. Beautiful. With the same level as the Yasuo now, the Brand is actually going to try to stun, misses everything. We're going to E-hook shot onto the Yasuo. He gets exhausted, which allows us to exhaust him and kill him. This is really nice. The simple fact that with Divine Sandra, with Ravenous Hydra, with more tanky atomization, you become an engage tool. That's what I wanted to get at. So the Divine Sandra / Trinity, the Ravenous combo, this is what we know. You can definitely rush Divine first into Rav first. You can rush Trinity into the Rav as well. But remember, the Tiamat first plus Sheen is our ultimate goal here. Remember, at this point, Track, who has full stacks on the Smite, Jax is going to flash in there into the Counter-Strike, but he has no mana. Lux ults nothing. Caitlyn kills the Jax. The Ashe ult does actually hit the Kha'Zix. No one knows where he is because he's dead. I thought he actually disappeared for a second and I realized, oh wait, he's actually dead. And then we can chase down one at a time. E-hook shot of the wall, Gale Force is used, but he has no flash, into a simple Q from the Caitlyn ultimate. So, to recap, should you need to be an assassin, E-hook shot range is juicy and fresh and shocking. It allows you to do so. Should you need to be more of a frontline engage for a team who has strong backline, like 2 ADCs, and a Brand who's basically a terrible support, can you be more tanky? Yes. Do we need more damage to kill people? No. Do you need to survive? Yes. Our true damage component plus shields plus percentage amp here, right? There you go. 10 plus 6% current health magic damage. Sorry, I said max earlier. I meant current health, excuse me. It's difficult these days when they just slap max health on so many things. Easy to forget. Really is. Now, on that note, I'm going to talk about the Mundo thing when that comes out, but I hope they delay and think about that because I don't like the changes they're going for. Just to talk about max HP, current HP. Afterwards, you can go into Sterax. They buffed this a little bit of a while ago. It just gives you so much. Not that one. There you go. Can you see that? It says that 400 HP and 57 bonus attack damage. You can see that. And obviously, our lifeline shield at this point is 560 HP. We get the HP from the Divine. We get the HP from this item itself. It's frontlining anti-burst. So, which is said, by the way. You know, you've got it anti-tank, AoE vamp, frontlining anti-burst, top right, it tells you what the items are for. No one seems to know that. So if you're a newer player, or someone doesn't really know what the items are good for, at least it gives you a concept. It's not always literally one for one, but it gives you a good idea. Now, when you're Camille with this, straight up, you're an engage tool. Straight up, you can go in and kick isolated targets into the next reality. But should we be more damage orientated or just so far ahead that no one can deal with us with a Baron? You split push, and you split push so damn well because we can use our spells on towers. And of course, Udyr is now fighting the Yaks here. I mean, he's 2-3-3. He's just vibing, I think. He's just vibing. Here's the Camille. Again, you could hit this, right? So if you're worried about who's rotating, who's not, you could hit this while you're split pushing, and you could get a whole cone over the zone, and here too. Like we don't really need that, and it's really big in terms of showing you your. We're getting ulted, but he's level 14, we're level 16, and we have Sterix Gauge. Should we? Do you need me to explain that, or you get the idea? You get the idea, right? So when they rotate, they die. Effectively, that's it. And the Sterix gives you huge advantages. You see the Sheen tick there, or the Divine every time we use it. The Q now is basically just straight up all the time. The W is basically looking at 7.86 seconds base. And, wow. Wow, basically. 3 items, if you're looking for this is a great beginning Camille itemization build, right? You've got the unhit Sheen, you've got the penetration, you've got the healing, you've got the percentage damage from Divine itself as well. You've got that healing, and you've got the Vamp, Scaling, Wave Clear, Raw AD from Ravenous Hydra, plus the Survivability, HP, and Lifeline Shield from Sterix Gauge. So it basically gives you absolutely everything you need. Could you go Death Stones? Yes. Could you go Morph Modius? Yes. Do you want to go GA? You could do that too. All these are great options, but you can simply go tank if you're already overkilling people. Because basically now the only thing is, you get caught out, Kha'Zix and Yasuo, they kill you. Now we have Randuin's Omen, which of course was nerfed. The only reasons we're going Randuin's here is because Yasuo's got a lot of crit, and we can remove AD with the active and slow with the active onto the Aphelios, the Kha'Zix, and as well the Jax. However, typically, Thornmail is more armor, Frozen Heart is more armor, but it's really interesting that huge nerf on the... It's really interesting that huge nerf on that Randuin's. We can hit this tower here. We're gonna try. Ooh, there's the E flash. There's it. I was wondering if we're gonna see a nice slow E flash stun, which we do right there. That was the quintessential level 2 gank in season 8. You would E, second E, and they would think, oh, you're not gonna reach it. You flash it and you hit them. And if they had no flash already, or if they had no flash already, then of course you just melted them. So hopefully you enjoyed and learned something. Please do like, share, and comment if you did. Subscribe, you know, just because it's cool and it helps me out a lot, as well as subscribe to the main channel, which has tier list roots and more content coming this week. A lot of champions coming this week lined up for you. Thank you very much for watching. Zardo GG guys, the links below for all of your favorite champions. All the builds will be upgraded this week and next week as I get proper data. I'm not going to bullshit you. I'm going to give you proper builds. As always, I will see you all in the next tutorial.